I used to play a game. It was called Warabots. I played it for about 2.5 years, and that was quite possibly one of the craziest communities, one of the worst game developers I have ever experienced in all of my time playing video games, especially on mobile. Mobile is one of those platforms where the developers literally could not give less of a crap about anyone in the community. They just care about making money, and that's a big issue. See, Warabots was one of those games that started out really, really good. See, they had a developer that cared about the game and added in things that people enjoyed. There's very little pay to win. It was a really enjoyable game to play. It eventually got bought over by a company called RU. They took that game in a 180, spun it around, and made it go towards a completely different route. Complete and absolute pay to win. They stopped listening to their player base, and honestly, I would say not listening to your player base is 1,000 times worse than any pay to win ever. And the issue with that is that I see that in Call of Duty Mobile. See, I escaped from that game, the terrible pay to win, the developers that did not care at all about their community. In fact, I would say they spited the community. I left that game to join Call of Duty Mobile, which at the time I felt like was one of the best games on the market. They had a lot of promise. They were looking like they were going to be that big, huge thing, and they were. They were this huge game that everyone loved, and the developers listened to the player base. When players were going up against hackers and ranked, the very next season they came out with an anti-cheat for ranked and, for the entire game. There were a lot of features that just really seemed nice. People were getting stuff that we genuinely liked, and for a while there, it was great. I saw that game going in a trajectory that I felt like was just going to continuously get better, and more players were going to join. But at this point in time, I see it doing a 180. I see it becoming Warabots, and that's a big, massive issue because that game was not fun. See, there are two business models in the mobile gaming market, and I've talked about this before. But basically, there's the one model where you are making a game that people enjoy so that they pay. And then there's the second business model where you are making a game that, you don't want to specifically make the players enjoy the game. You want to kind of force them to pay. Or you just kind of go around making players actually enjoy the game. And, that's the terrible side of mobile gaming. And I've seen it happen so many times, and I see Call of Duty Mobile doing this. Call me toxic. I don't care. That's not an argument. Okay? I know people have arguments for this on the other side. I'm not the type of person that completely hates the other side just because they're the other side. But there are a lot of people out here that are sitting here and they're telling me that I am toxic for having this opinion. The reality is that Call of Duty Mobile has changed a lot in 5 months, and I've documented it. I'm not a hater of this game or anything. I don't just hate this game just because I can or for views or something. No, I am talking about the issues of this game, and I have actually praised Call of Duty Mobile on numerable occasions, But the issue is that they are not making the content that players are enjoying, and honestly, I see it as lazy. If they are willing to sit here and charge $300, $400 for a skin, which, just in case you guys are wondering, Activision, if they tried to do that on a PC or console game, they would have a riot on their hands, okay? People would not play that game, but they are taking advantage of this player base, and people do not see that. I feel like there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of fixes that people need. This game is broken, it's just not nearly as fun. Like when I look at where it was in Season 9 and how excited I was for this game and where I saw this game going, even just in Season 9, 5 months ago, I saw it going in a completely different place. Right now, this game feels like it's stuck. It's stuck in Season 9. It is going absolutely nowhere. They keep on adding maps, they keep on adding guns, but the gameplay is the same, there's nothing really new. The issues just keep on piling up. So today, I would like to document every single issue that I have found inside of this game, that I've documented over the course of this 5 months, that still persists. Let's start out with an easy one, shall we? Zombies. Quite possibly one of the biggest things that players have been asking for about a year now. The more that the player base asks for zombies, the more COD Mobile loves ignoring them. At this point on Reddit, and they even said this themselves, this is not just me, taking words out of their mouths. They said that they're not going to respond back to anybody, talking about zombies, because evidently we got too negative about it. Well, yeah, you know, when COD Mobile sits there and the entire player base wants something like zombies to come back in, and they basically sit there and they're like, no comment on that at this time. Yeah, after a while, after, you know, months upon months upon months, yeah, that definitely gets annoying, and the player base is going to be annoyed. Zombies was one of those game modes that really would have made this game so much better. When I was playing in Season 2, that was one of the reasons why I felt like this game was so good, was because we had a multiplayer, we had a battle royale, and then we had zombies. You know, if you ever got bored of the multiplayer, you can move to the battle royale. If you ever got bored of the battle royale, you can move to the zombies. Nowadays, all that I really feel like is left is the multiplayer, and even then, it's so stale. Like, the Battle Royale really barely gets any updates. I mean, sometimes they'll get a new piece of content or a new location or something. Zombies is straight up gone. It's like gone for good. I don't know what they're doing with that. And it just feels really boring. The Battle Royale. Let's continue on with the Battle Royale. See, the Battle Royale is one of those things that I felt like had some true potential. It definitely felt underdeveloped in Season 2, and I thought, you know, they were really going to focus their time on developing that and making it good, making it, you know, up to like PUBG Mobile or something standards, you know, because there are a ton of Battle Royale games on the market, and if you really kind of want to pierce through that market, you got to make a good game. See, the Battle Royale, since Season 2, really hasn't changed that much. I mean, the biggest thing was we got a couple of new locations with the Battle Royale expansion, and then Gunsmith. That was it. Okay, it continues to have all of these issues that really never, like, they never get addressed by Call of Duty Mobile, Activision. They never get addressed. People ask about it all the time. They never actually talk about fixing any of it. There's so many bots. Like, most of the Battle Royale is just bots. Like, I played it one time. And understand, I'm not just the, like, multiplayer, like, douche or something. I played the Battle Royale, I got to Legendary, and I'll tell you what, even in Legendary Ranked of the Battle Royale, it is still full of bots. Like, it's probably, I would say, like, you know, 60% bots. It's ridiculous. The 80th bullet spread, like, the balance inside of that Battle Royale is terrible, because they use the same exact balance, the same exact recoil as they do in the multiplayer, because they don't put enough effort to actually truly balance things inside of the Battle Royale. You know, if something has the same recoil in the multiplayer, it's going to have the same recoil in the Battle Royale. It's ridiculous. There's still 80th bullet spread, which is one of the most cringy things I've ever seen in the world. You know, you can shoot as good of an accuracy as you want. You can be freaking ninja. But at the end of the day, that 80th bullet spread doesn't... It's going to make you look like trash if you're shooting from long distances. You know, there's just a bad balance, and they really don't put enough time into actually making a decent balance for the Battle Royale. They just use the same exact one as multiplayer, and that's not right. It's always just ridiculously buggy and laggy, and it all just adds to the fact that that game mode has not gotten a decent update in a really long time. I mean, we will go entire seasons without even getting a new location to the Battle Royale. It's absolutely ridiculous. We'll get maybe like one new class or one new item, and I honestly like the Battle Royale. It was fun, but it gets stale after a while when you aren't adding in any new stuff, and there are just so many issues that pile up. It's largely ignored, and the multiplayer is the only thing that I feel like COD Mobile really focuses on at this point, which I don't know if that's really a great thing, even when the multiplayer really isn't that good or nearly as good as it was. I mean, Ranked, they barely ever get any new maps for the multiplayer. Like, it's gotten so bad that you only have, like the maps inside of Ranked are pretty much the same ones that you had, like, 5-6 seasons ago. Sometimes when they'll get a new map, they'll add it in, but, like, it's like a third of the time. It gets really stale and really boring for anyone playing Ranked, because I played Ranked, I got the Legendary in Ranked. It was terrible, because you keep on playing the same exact maps over and over again. Even though there's like 20-something multiplayer maps, they only use like 10 for each game mode. And okay, so say you don't want to play Ranked. Then you can do public matches. But then they're just full of bots. It's not even like something that's like, oh, it's a casual gameplay. And no, it is literally full of bots. Bot usernames, they are just... And they're annoying, because some of these bots will just like one-shot headshot you and stuff like that. And then sometimes they'll just be absolutely terrible. It's not fun to play up against bots. Don't call it a multiplayer unless you actually have real players. That's the funniest thing. Like, public matches have probably, I would say, 40 to 60% real players, and then the rest are bots. Like almost half your lobby full of bots. The balance is just boring in the multiplayer, and I'll tell you what, the Battle Royale balance is bad, but so is the multiplayer, even then. Like, assault rifles are evidently the meta, and they're super slow, and the issue is that these, like, 3-shot assault rifle weapons, for some reason, are ridiculously overpowered, and COD Mobile, like, takes so long to nerf them. Things like the Molotov, which people asked for seasons to get nerfed. It was like 2 or 3 seasons. COD Mobile did a little dainty little nerf to the Molotov one season, and then the next season they kind of skipped over. It took them until like season 12 or 13 to actually get a decent nerfing of the Molotov. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's fine if you nerf something, just nerf it on time. Listen to the player base. Instead, what they did was they turned around, they gave a little nerf to it. Like a tiny one, even though everyone knew it was super overpowered. And it did nothing. And then they took like 2 more seasons just to actually get a final rebalance to it. That's the thing, COD Mobile is so slow with some of this stuff that it's like they're trying to spite the community. Like, it's like we asked them not nicely or something, or we asked them the wrong way and we hurt their feelings. And so now they're just going to ignore us for like 2 months. Oh, say you want to play like a limited time game mode instead of one of the core game modes, because say the core game modes kind of eventually get stale. So you go over to limited time game modes and you click on, whatever, and you realize something interesting about these limited time game modes. Half of them are just scams. Like, one was called Winters on Summit. It was literally just Summit gameplay. Like, something that you could play at any point in time in the core playlist, but they put it as like a featured limited time game mode. That's the funniest thing. Like, I'll have to applaud COD Mobile. They made some really nice limited time game modes that everyone enjoyed. Yet, they sit here and they spam out these limited time game modes that are just lazy. They're just the same exact core content that we always have. They just put the title of limited time game mode. Like, even at one point, like this past week, it was literally the game mode Frontline, but with absolutely no differences other than they changed the name. Again, they have such good limited time game modes that they have sometimes, but they refuse to bring them out, and they bring out these weird random ones that are still in the game that's not limited time at all. It just feels lazy and underdeveloped, like they aren't putting in enough time to make limited time game modes, when in reality there are well more than enough already in the game that they could have used. And then when I look at the updates and stuff for this game in general, not just like, multiplayer, but the Battle Royale and multiplayer, it's generic. It's generic. For the past 5 months, we really haven't gotten any new decent features, I'm not talking like something of gunsmith-sized proportions. I'm just talking like some new feature. Really, we keep on getting the same exact, assault rifles, and then, we'll get a new operator skill or a new score streak. It's just the same exact content, and it feels like we're playing the same exact game every single season, except with maybe a new gun that feels the same as, like, the other, 14 assault rifles. The operator skills really don't change the gameplay that much. It's the same exact gameplay that we've been playing since, Season 9. It's ridiculous. I don't understand, have they lost all creativity? I have so many ideas for stuff that you could add inside of this game, new features, and the reality is that COD Mobile, they're just not up to doing it, and the community has been asking for this stuff for months upon months upon months. A new clan system and stuff like that. That's finally getting added in after 4 or 5 months. I'll tell you what, some people use the card where they're like, oh, well, it takes a long time to develop that. It doesn't take 5 months. And I'll tell you, honestly, the clan system has been asked for long. After 5 months is a generous thing to say. That's been at least 7 or 8. Hell, even simple things like, night mode. The community was asking for at least half a year. It was ridiculous. And they took so long to add that in. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't take that much to put a little blue filter on something and some night vision goggles and call it night mode. But they took so long to develop that, it makes me really question, do they even care? Do they even care? That's what, if you hear a player saying something like that, do they even care? Then you really have to question, what you're doing as a game developer. Because obviously, you're not making the type of content that people are enjoying. And that's the issue. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, do they even listen? Do they even listen to what the community wants? Probably not. It takes them so long to just add in simple things. Even, quality of life features. Say we had some bugs back when Gunsmith came out, that basically made it so that the gun's camos would get all glitched out when you put attachments on it. It took them until Season 12, or actually it might have been Season 13, to add in a default look, a little default look button, something that players have been asking for like 4 or 5 months. That's such a simple thing. Like, when you look at it, like, COD Mobile in, like, Season 1 and 2, like, they had an issue, like an anti-cheat. They added that anti-cheat in the next season. That's a hard thing to add in, okay? An anti-cheat is something that takes genuine development and effort. Something like a default look button, I don't think that really would take that much. It wouldn't take them 3 or 4 months, I'll tell you that. It's just simple quality of life things that, obviously, and you'll see that now, even with these issues, COD Mobile is not willing to do anything about it. And things like when lag and desync have been pretty much a problem in this game ever since, I would say, Season 7 or so. It's gotten worse, it's gotten better throughout, but these issues have been prevalent in this game for a really long time. I used to be able to play this game at like high graphics settings without any frame drops. Now I'll have to play on low just to get decent frames, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's not that hard to optimize a game. It is decently hard, but you know, if you have the resources of Call of Duty Mobile, they've pocketed $500 million from this player base. I'll tell you what, you know, even more by now. So I'm telling you what, they have the resources to have a developer team that can get on that and optimize it. But they're obviously not, you know, they're not giving enough resources to these teams. They obviously don't have enough people working on fixing bugs and fixing issues and optimizing the game, because you can tell it seriously shows. Call of Duty Mobile, you know, I talked about all the issues inside of your game, and you know, that's the things that I genuinely care about. And I've talked about, you know, your $400 lucky draws. I don't care. That's the thing. I feel like as mobile players, we're being nice. We're being nice. You know, you guys would get killed. Not actually, but like, you guys would get killed if you went into the PC community with $400 lucky draws. That's something that's like unheard of. But you sit here and you take advantage of this community, okay? You take advantage of us being fine with expensive lucky draws. I mean, for the most part, there's not really that much of kickback from that. We had a couple of bundles-only people, and honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to make these lucky draws, if you're going to scam your players out of hundreds of dollars, fine, whatever, I don't care, I'm not buying them. But you should at least make the game fun enough for anyone that is playing. Because I don't feel like I would ever want to spend $400 on a game, much less, you know, 20 bucks. I would not want to spend 20 bucks on this game because I don't feel like it has the longevity. You'll see that some people would call this kind of like a cash grab thing, where they're just going to pump and dump the game. They're just going to, you know, pull up, make a bunch of content, spam it out. Once it dies out, just move on. And that's why I see this. I don't see this as a long-term game anymore. I see them treating this game as though, you know, it's just trash. And I don't think it is. This community is a lot stronger than that, and this game could last for years upon years as long as they keep on focusing on making fresh new content, fixing issues, and making sure that the community's happy. But they're not. And it shows because people are getting very angry. COD Mobile, you know, Activision, they're a company. They're trying to actively make money. But, you know, there are different ways to make money. And one of the ways is by making the players happy so that they pay. I don't know, guys. I really just kind of wanted to group everything together in this video, talk about everything, all the issues that still persist in this game. These issues that I talked about, you know, I made videos about 4 or 5 months ago. They're still in the game. And so I really just wanted to talk about the fact that Call of Duty Mobile is not looking at this game and doing the same thing that they did in Season 1 or 2. They're really not putting in the same effort, and they're getting way too comfortable. And it shows. So, sorry for the long video. I'm sorry about that. I hope you guys, you know, hear me out with that. And I'd like to hear out what you guys have to say, whether that's an agree or disagree thing. So, I love y'all. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you next time. It's Kamikaze, signing out.